What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're talking about a shoe that, according to my YouTube analytics, has been around longer than most of you watching this video. Today we're talking about the Nike Pegasus 41. Let's get into it. Let's get started with those disclosures. Nike was good enough to send me this pair of the Pegasus 41 for the purpose of review. However, they haven't told me what to say. They don't have any editorial privileges, and all the thoughts and opinions are my own. With that said, you can pick up a pair of the Nike Pegasus 41 for $140. And of course, I'll place links in the show notes below in case you want to pick up a pair for yourself. Okay, so let's jump right in. Now, if you ran in the Nike Pegasus 40, you may have been disappointed. In fact, as a whole, the internet was disappointed with the Pegasus 40. So let me just start by saying that this video is worth watching because Nike has made some big changes to this shoe. And, at least in my opinion, Nike has brought the shoe up to a level that is deserved of the Pegasus name. So the Peg 41 has 37 in the heel, 27 in the forefoot for a 10mm drop. So the drop is the same as it always is. It's always 10mm, but we have an additional 4mm of stack height. So that's great. We're going to be getting a softer ride. Now, Nike claims that a US men's size 9 will tip the scale at 10.4 ounces or 297 grams. In my size, a US men's size 13, it tips the scale at 12.2 ounces or 347 grams. So not the lightest daily trainer, but certainly not the heaviest. Oh, and the Peg 41 does fit true to size. It fits me like every other Nike shoe and like 95% of all other shoes everywhere. It is a neutral road running shoe, but it can certainly be used on light trails, and I've used them on light trails in this testing. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start at the top and work our way down. Hold up this heel collar. You can see this nice plush heel collar. Peg 41 has a great step-in feel. The heel counter is nice and rigid. I had a good heel lockdown when my foot was seated. Now Nike has changed the engineered mesh for this shoe. And basically, to me, it looks the same, but they've made it more breathable. I don't know how, but they have. Now, with that said, I've been running in this shoe in Florida where it's very hot, and I have to say that no shoe feels breathable when I'm running in the heat of summer. But if you live in a normal climate, I think this is going to be breathable enough. There aren't many overlays on the Peg 41. We have the swoosh here on the lateral side, little swoosh on the medial side, some reflective elements on the back. It looks like Nike's using more underlays than overlays on this shoe. There is something on the inside. We'll get to that in just a second. And we have an underlay coming around the toe box just to keep that upper off your foot. Now, I know for a lot of people, Nikes do tend to run a little narrow, but I did find that I had plenty of room in this toe box. So no complaints. Although I always say that I do have kind of narrow feet, so maybe I'm not the best judge of what's wide and what's not. But for me, I had no issue. The shoe felt great. The tongue is fairly plush. There's a lot of cushioning in this tongue. There's no lace loop, but the tongue is gusseted, or at least it's kind of gusseted. The tongue goes directly into the second layer of the engineered mesh upper. So this is a dual layer mesh upper, and the tongue ties right into the inside layer. So it serves exactly the same purpose as a gusseted tongue. The tongue isn't going anywhere. Now, another thing that Nike has changed with the Peg 41 to make the fit fantastic is that they've added their dynamic midfoot fit system, and it is very hard to see on this colorway. But basically, the laces are tied into bands that come all the way down to the top of the midsole, so they wrap around your foot, and that's on both sides. So when you tighten the laces down, you are pulling those midfoot bands and you get a great midfoot lockdown. And it's actually noticeable. The midfoot lockdown feels snug and secure, and although in all honesty, I probably wouldn't notice it if it wasn't there, because it was there, I did notice that my foot felt more secure than normal. Does that make sense? Now, as far as step-in feel and feeling the shoe on my foot when I'm not running, that's the biggest update to me. I think that midfoot fit system is a solid update to the shoe, but it's certainly not the biggest update. And as usual, we come down to the midsole. That is where the magic happens, and Nike has made a huge change. They've replaced their React foam with ReactX in the Peg 41. And because we're using ReactX, Pegasus 41 now has a 43% lower carbon footprint than the Pegasus 40. And the ReactX foam is 13% more reactive. Wait, that isn't the right word. It's responsive. It is 13% more responsive than React foam. So that's a big deal. We also have AirZoom units in the forefoot and in the heel, and it makes for a very comfortable ride. It makes for a very versatile ride. Coming down to the outsole, we have solid outsole rubber here. We've got good coverage, and I did have a chance to run in this shoe in the rain. I didn't experience any slippage issues. So all in all, no complaints about this outsole rubber. After my testing, I am seeing a little bit of wear here on my lateral heel edge, but that's totally normal. I'm always going to see that. And it looks like up on the forefoot, yeah, maybe those little nodules are wearing down, but again, totally normal for the amount of volume I have in this shoe. Okay, so let's talk about ride. And I've got to tell you, I have run in a lot of Pegasus. Wait, is it Pegasi? I think it's Pegasi. Anyway, I've been a long time fan of the Pegasus. In fact, when I started running, the Pegasus was the only shoe that I would run in because I liked them so much, and they came in so many different colors that I could always just buy a new pair of shoes in a different color and know that they were the same shoe. And I've got no way to prove this because I wasn't on Strava all the way back in the day, but I think I ran my marathon PR in the Pegasus. And I'll let you in on a secret. Since we are now now, in the era of super shoes, I have not been able to match the time that I ran in the Pegasus in the super shoe. So if I don't tell you anything else, the Pegasus for me is a faster shoe than the Alpha Flight 3. Now I guess there is a confounding variable in that story, and that variable is that I was about 12 years younger, but I really don't think that plays a part. Anyway, I've got a long history with the Pegasus, that's all I'm saying. So after putting in my testing miles in the Pegasus 41, I can really see why I fell in love with the shoe. I can see why this shoe is so popular. It's just a great all-around daily trainer. And I use the words daily trainer on a lot of reviews. But the Pegasus 41 is a little more than that, because its area of expertise is so much wider. So this shoe is comfortable enough, it's soft enough for recovery runs, for easy runs. But if you only wanted one pair of shoes, the Pegasus 41 is definitely one to look at, because this ReactX midsole and the AirZoom units make it fairly responsive. Now, we're not talking about carbon plate level responsive, but for a daily trainer, this is a very responsive shoe. It gets up moving and it feels good at speed. Now, there's no getting away from it being 347 grams in my size, but again, if it was the only shoe you had, you could have a good running life only running in the Pegasus 41. So I really think Nike made a winner with the Pegasus 41. It's actually a really solid shoe, and I'm going to look forward to keep running in it through the summer. Oh, let me just jump back to this outsole rubber. This shoe is still new to me. I've probably got 40 miles in it at the time of making this review, but because I have such a long history running in the Pegasus, I can tell you that in the past I've taken my Pegasus to 600 miles. So will the 41s last that long? I don't know, but I doubt Nike has made that bigger changes to the outsole rubber that if you wanted to put some high numbers into this shoe, you certainly could. So guys, now I want to hear from you. Have you ever run in the Pegasus? Are you curious about what Nike has done with the Pegasus 41? Drop a comment and let me know. But for now, it's Matt B. This has been my review of the Nike Pegasus 41. Be kind, be happy, run well. I'll see you in a couple days.